So how can you make money driving with Uber? Well, you got a lot of flexibility. I mean, they do have this new feature that they installed that you can only drive 12 hours at a time. So, I mean, maybe you could drive 16, 17 hours in a day, because it's not like if you have that 6 hours off, you might go home and sleep. Because you have to be really perfect with that. Like where you get taken offline for 6 hours, and then say you drive 12 hours, and then you get taken offline for 6 hours, and then you go back online for another 6. But you would have to be really perfect doing that, because most drivers don't live in the areas that they drive in. So how you make money with Uber is that sometimes you look for the surge pricing, because the surge pricing is what is going to multiply your ride. So if it's like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6. So the numbers that are after, so say 0.1, 0.2 is like 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, until you get up to 2.0, which is double. So you're getting double the fare, because there's like double the mileage. Usually the mileage, there's every city or zone has a different mileage, per mile and per minute charge. So there's so say if it's like $1.20 a mile, and then you get like say 20 cents per minute, then those will multiply. So say if it multiplies by 50%, then you're going to get a bigger fare. So say if your fare was going to be like $20, maybe you get like 50% more of that, maybe $28, $29 for your ride instead of 20. So it's always good. That's like how you maximize your driving, is by driving during those busy times and going in areas. But I wouldn't go chase the areas. Like I wouldn't go to the red if you had to drive far. Like, ooh, there's a 5.0 or 4X. I need to roll out there. Because by the time you get out there, all of a sudden you don't get it. Or maybe the rider doesn't take the ride because they don't want to, say, pay for an expensive ride. They might be complaining, saying, I'm like, forget Uber. I don't want to pay no 5X. Like, why do they always do that? But they don't understand that there's not a supply of cars in the area. So if there's not a supply of cars and there's a heavy demand, then they need to get drivers out there. Otherwise, then there's no supply, and then people don't get rides, and then they'll like use Lyft or something else, another like a taxi. They might actually go, walk up and hail a cab, So there's a boost that Uber features in some of the areas. I know that they maybe have it in Los Angeles, but I know they have it in the Bay Area, and it's a boost. And Uber will have a boost for certain times because they want to get drivers in there, a supply of drivers to make sure. And the reason why is because they have to have incentive, because if drivers are in those areas, then the riders get rides, and then it keeps them, it ensures that people use Uber, because if they're demanding a ride, they request it, and then there's no driver around to drive them, then now there's money lost. The driver's not making money, Uber's not making money. Uber probably relies on other methods to make money, because if you just look at, because the driver makes most of the money and they get a commission, they do get the safe rides. There's like a fee, like a $2 fee or something that is for the safe rides. It's like for the administration costs, so they make a lot. So every ride is like, you'll see a fee on there. It's like a $2, could be $2 now. At one time it was like $1. One time they gave it to the drivers as a way for us to handle the lower fares. So they give us all the money, but then they started to take it, and they started to use it for the administration costs and for other. I think it's more administrative and like safety things. So drive when there's a boost, and know the schedule of the boost, and go in those areas and take rides. If you see a surge pricing, make sure you go in those areas and take the surge pricing, because that's a good way to make extra money. And then drive when you see bonuses. Is it a bonus for a particular night, or for commute, for different specific times, or they have a weekly bonus or the weekday bonus? Then make sure you do those, because that's just extra money. You have to maximize the earnings that you can make with Uber to make extra money in addition to your fares that you take, because you may miss your bonuses. You have to be very strategic in how you drive. So if they feature a weekday bonus or a weekend bonus, you need to drive on the first day. You need to drive at those moments that will enable you to capture those earnings and do better. Because if you make that money, then you're really maximizing your earnings, and maybe you could get some free time. And